And now the 17th ASEAN Summit and related meetings will kick off in Hanoi in Vietnam today. In a special interview by Thai news agency reporter Panuk Wongcha-um, the Thai Prime Minister Abhisit elaborated on key topics to be discussed at the meetings. He was also talking about the upcoming November 7th election in Myanmar and Thai foreign policy with neighboring countries.
สวัสดีครับท่านนายก Abhisit. Thank you for giving us this special interview on the occasion of the one-year anniversary of our channel. First of all, I would like to ask you, what are the main agendas that Thailand will be pushing at the upcoming Hanoi ASEAN Summit?
Well, in Hanoi, I think there are a number of issues that are of great interest to all the members. But we will be approving a master plan in terms of connectivity, which we feel is key to integration for the ASEAN region. This master plan on connectivity, I think, is receiving interest not just from the member countries, but also a number of potential partners, particularly our dialogue partners and also those who are interested in investing in the infrastructure. That will be, I think, a highlight in terms of the pushing forward of the integration process. But at the same time in Hanoi, I think there will be a number of issues that are of concern, not just to the members, but also to the international community. As far as the economy is concerned, I think there will be questions about issues like the exchange rate, which is still a great source of controversy as far as economic management is concerned. Making sure that the recovery continues. And also, following up on the various trade and investment agreements that we have made with our partners. Because in Hanoi, we're not just having the meeting of ASEAN or ASEAN +3 and the East Asia Summit, but also we have a number of commemorative summits where leaders of partners like Australia, New Zealand, Russia will also be present, as well as the United Nations. Apart from that, a number of regional issues. Myanmar, the problems of piracy, the problems of migration, problems of terrorism, transnational crimes, disaster relief, which is again a very hot issue for a number of ASEAN countries as well, will be discussed.
I see. It is to our understanding that you're going to be chairing the Indonesian, Malaysian, Thailand Growth Triangle Summit. Can you please explain to us what would this involve?
Yes, we're following up on the review of the progress of the Growth Triangle and also identifying some potential projects, as well as recognizing some shortcomings and limitations. For instance, on the issue of cross-border trade, where there are still difficulties of getting goods across to second and third countries from Thailand. These will all be discussed.
I see. And do you care to elaborate on the ASEAN UN Summit, the Japan-Mekong Summit, all these sidelines that you will personally be taking place, you attend?
For the UN, I think we can build on the success of the UN and ASEAN being part of the tripartite core group when we dealt with the issue of the Nagis cyclone in Myanmar. And we're trying to identify more such partnerships in the development issues, in helping a number of ASEAN countries attaining the Millennium Development Goals, as well as the issue of human rights, where ASEAN has set up its own commission, and will also be looking closely at the agenda that the UN is also pushing, particularly the rights of women and children.
And in terms of you mentioned the increase of connectivity. How will ASEAN, in your opinion, how will ASEAN maintain its centrality in the years to come with the likely aspect of involvement from the US and Russia?
Well, in terms of investment in physical connectivity, I think a number of partners have great potential. You just mentioned the Japan-Mekong cooperation. Clearly that's one forum that has emerged with the clear recognition of the potential that the issue of integration and connectivity has and Japanese role in the region. And other countries are also expressing interest. At the same time, I think the issue of ASEAN centrality is now very much reinforced by the trend that we see this year, whereby ASEAN forms the core of the East Asia Summit. And now there is clear interest from the US, from Russia, who have now been invited, the foreign ministers have now been invited as guests of the chair, and therefore looking forward to expanding this forum while retaining that ASEAN centrality. Incidentally, I was in Brussels a few weeks ago, and even the European Union expresses its interest in joining the East Asia Summit.
Wow, that's impressive. And just briefly, what can we look forward to for ASEAN in 2011?
In 2011, I think we will see more concrete connections between the ASEAN countries. I think this year we've begun to reap the fruits of some of the free trade agreements within the ASEAN 6 and also with the agreements that we have with our dialogue partners. I think this will grow, especially as the global economy recovers. I think the benefits of this will be even more clearly felt and seen. And at the same time, I think the process of physical integration, projects ranging from roads, rail, telecommunications links, and energy networks, I think will become even more clear to ASEAN people.